Welcome back to our YouTube channel. Should I do that? Should I start every video like that? Like, welcome to the Bromlow family channel. Anyway, we wanted to make a video just kind of Q&A style discussing raising a child. And I get it, some of you have raised 17 children, 4 children, or more than us, or have been doing it longer than us. That's great. This is just our opinion on it and what's worked for us. So the question is, how do I set and enforce appropriate boundaries for my children? And I saw something on social media the other day that was just like so great. Setting a boundary requires the other person to do nothing. If you tell your kid, when we get inside the elevator, I don't want you to press any of the buttons. That's a request, not a boundary. A boundary is, hey, when we get in the elevator, I'm gonna stand between you and the buttons so that you can't press any. It requires the child to do nothing. That's setting a boundary. If you make requests, the kids can say no, can throw a tantrum. When you set a boundary, you've said it like how it's gonna be, and the kid doesn't have to do anything for that to take effect.
My little chime in for that, as I doctor up Letty, is that you have to be consistent with those boundaries. And I think that's like one of the biggest takeaways we try to think about when we're, we try to think about like setting boundaries for her, discipline. It's like, if I told you to do it once, I gotta stick with it, as bad as that might be, or you know, the next time might be harder to set that boundary or keep that discipline up. Like, you have to be consistent, because otherwise they're just kind of running your world. It's Friday, we're gonna go do something fun because tomorrow I leave for Montana, so we want to see Brad's parents one last time and just go swim and have dinner, and we'll talk to them a little bit about parenting too. There's not really a specific question surrounding this, so it would be more like in general, what are my top pointers for developing good speech and language? So if you remember, I'm a former speech language pathologist. 1 or 2 things are huge that I feel like are like really missed with parents, especially from a very young age. I'm talking like newborn, is face-to-face time. So like when you're reading a book, don't both of you face the book, face the child, like sit them up in a bouncer, put them in a little like, you know, whatever seat, and read to them, and they can see your face. You are the best example for speech and language for your child. So, and they're like sponges, even from the time they seem like a potato. And then reading is wonderful, but also just the concept of narrating their entire life. So it doesn't matter if they can talk yet. From the time Letty was very small, I just narrated everything I was doing. So when she was with me, which was like all the time, just, oh, mommy's putting a little pink bow in your hair, and you don't even have to be like fun and exaggerated, but that does help. Like, that playful speaking does in fact help your child. And then I would say third, just always like making sure you're kind of like leveling up wherever they are. So if they're speaking in one word like instances, then, you know, scaffold that and put 2 words together. So you're playing with a ball and you're saying like go, and they have the word go, then you're like adding on top of it, go ball, and you're just doing that 2 words. So if they have 2 words, then you're adding up to 3. If they only have a couple words at a time, then you're saying sentences back to them. So you're always the best example for them.
We are about to eat dinner, but one of the questions just popped up and felt like it would be good to answer because we just went through it. And it's, how do you handle temper tantrums or meltdowns? So right now, Letty wanted lots of jelly beans. Aubrie only gave her 3 because we're about to eat dinner. And that caused her to be very upset that she couldn't have lots of jelly beans. Honestly, in those situations, you remain calm, you get down on their level, and then you just reason with them. And I know that sounds stupid, but you really can reason with them. Yeah, if you stay calm, yeah. I said, hey, if you're gonna cry about it, then we can't have any jelly beans after dinner. But if you wanna take a deep breath and calm down, then we can get some jelly beans after dinner. And you know, she continued to express her frustration about not having more and being upset about that. And I just continued to reassure. And I'd said, if we're gonna get upset, then I'll just take away all the jelly beans and we can just not do jelly beans at all. You know, and then they realized, man, I'm getting 3 jelly beans. This ain't so bad of a deal. I'll get some more after dinner. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I agree. I think like the biggest mistake that you can make as a parent is like getting upset yourself. So if you need to take a second, like go cool down. And then I wouldn't really try to reason with them unless they've come down off of their tantrums. So I would just be patient, silent. Sometimes I just stop talking and wait.
Yeah, but normally I reason with her while Aubrey does it. What'd you make?
I did stir fry, chicken and beef. Your mom used this instead of soy sauce.
Yeah, it tastes like soy sauce, liquid amino.
It tastes really good. I was impressed. I was like, wow. And then we used olive oil when extra virgin olive, put it on there, and then your mom made rice. Pink and purple.
Hey, how do you maintain a healthy relationship after having kids?
Oh my goodness. You don't until they're like grown and gone. And then you get your relationship back. You just gotta hang in there.
That's 18 years of no hope.
Or more.
Or more.
Well, Brad and I definitely don't have the answers, but I would say like our date nights really help. Communication really helps, and finding like time outside of family life and business life to like actually talk.
What was it? It was like 133 or something like that. Like one date night a week, 30 minutes every day, or something of like connection, and then one solo trip without kids every 3 months. Isn't that what it is?
No, we used to do that once a year. We had
3:30 or something like
anniversary. We used to go away without kids. The rest of the time we always took y'all. And I would say though, a church family, a church home, that gives you a lot of support and encouragement, and just communication. We've always just been friends. So we like to just hang out. I mean,
Wow.
Brad and I have also done counseling too, and I feel like that has helped, and we like to do that to like maintain and get like actual conversations, you know, problems. Sometimes, you know, you fight about the same stuff and you're like, all right, I need like a mediator here. Wow, scoop.
There you go, legs and hands. There you go.
Come on.
Wow, there you go.
Catch me. Oh, you got it.
You ready?
I don't know.
What are effective ways to boost my child's self-esteem and confidence?
Wow, I got some seriously confident children. I guess just tell them how when you're proud of them, when they do something good, make a really big deal out of it. Let them know that they're smart. Let them know that they're capable. Let them know that they can do anything they want to do.
How do you raise a confident child?
Just let them know you love them and always will.
There you go. What are we watching? Looking at a book together?
Yep.
All right. How can I help my child develop good social skills and make friends? Good social skills. I think it obviously helps when your child can play with other kids that are their age. But I just remember a lot of the things that your kids do are direct reflections of what you do in your house. If you want your kids to have manners and say please and thank you, then say please and thank you to each other, to your child when they do things. I think that a lot of it is just how you interact with them. Obviously that's not the case for everyone. If you have some wild child that like is just hitting and punching people, that doesn't mean that's necessarily what's going on in your home. But you know, in general, a lot of that behavior is how you interact with your child. So that's kind of like what I would say is obviously put them in places that they can interact with other kids their age, monitor it, step in if you need to. That's cool, huh?
Can I read this?
All right, mommy. How can I encourage my child to eat a balanced and nutritious diet?
We were just talking about this because I feel like I'm not doing an incredible job. I think at home she eats like balanced meals and you know, I focus on protein, but I don't necessarily always focus on fiber, and I have a hard time getting her to eat like fruits and vegetables. So one thing that does work for us, I know for sure, is to limit snacking. She's much more, you know, susceptible to eating more at meals, like healthy food. And then maybe like overhaul your pantry, which I'm gonna do when we get back because we're actually out of a lot of her like normal snacks, and I feel like I could do better about like not really having snacks and just using actual like meals. I also know like somebody I saw, I think it was on TikTok, did dinner time right when they got home from school because they were the most hungry at that point. So I think like finding your kids' most hungry spots of the day and not offering like a less nutritious option and offering something more nutritious, and consistency with that. Don't just like let them opt out of eating healthy foods. I'm doing my best.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
We didn't film that much yesterday when we got home from Lulu and Pop Pop's house, but Aubrie and Letty are hanging out at the house. We're gonna do something fun because they're gonna pack up and leave for Montana today.
Me.
Yeah, you're gonna leave for Montana.
Yep.
On an airplane.
Yep.
Letty's
And
watching.
you're gonna leave?
I'm staying here.
Staying here?
Yeah.
Where'd you go?
I am. I'm gonna come up later. I gotta work a little bit, then I'm gonna come up. So the question was, how do you balance like screen time? Because that was the question we were asked. And I think that a lot of that depends on individual situations. Letty has certain days where she watches a couple hours of TV, and then she has some days where she doesn't watch any TV at all. We're not huge fans of the iPad unless we're out at restaurants and things like that. I know a lot of people let their kids watch them at home, and we just found that her behavior got a lot worse when she did that. And then, you know, what they watch also matters. We don't like her to watch a lot of those like fast-paced moving shows. It's a lot more like Pixar stuff. Like she's watching Monsters University right now. She likes watching like Super Kitties and Bluey and stuff like that. At least they're not the worst shows.
There's also Monster Inc. There's one Monster Inc., two Monster Inc., and this one.
Yeah, you like them?
Yep. Awesome.
Yeah.
Also, this one is scary and dark, and the layers are scary.
Yeah.
I don't know if my bag weighs too much. I really shoved it in.
Don't you weigh it for you?
Yeah, you want to weigh it?
But first, how can you establish a consistent daily routine for your toddler?
How to establish one? Well, make a schedule and then be consistent about it. That's honestly, I feel like it's just that dedication to a schedule, just like you would go to the gym, just like you would, you know, eat healthy. Having a routine is so important for your child to just like feel safe and secure. Yeah, how to establish one? I would just say like have someone hold you accountable to that schedule, especially if you're like trying to do less screen time or trying to be on time to things. It just depends on their age. Our routine has changed like through the years. So just look at like what's appropriate for them. If they're at home all day with you, like block out your hours basically.
All right, ready?
There you go, it's gonna weigh.
Ready?
Yep.
It says low battery, Aubrie.
Maybe get the other one.
Jeez Louise. 248.
So 54 pounds?
Yep.
It'll be fine.
It won't be fine.
We're on our way to the airport so me and Letty can fly to Montana.
Yeah.
Yeehaw.
Yeehaw. All right, so the question is, how do I help my child with transitions like daycare? I'm holding this thing. Like daycare or like going to school. We all assume that our children don't understand when we speak to them, but I think that's one of the best things that you can do is just coach them about it well ahead of time. Even like on this trip, I'm coaching Letty that, you know, Daddy's not gonna be with us, so that when we get out of the car, it's not like this shock and she has a meltdown. I think that that's honestly a lot of tantrums is like just unprepared for certain scenarios when you could have easily just prepped them, coached them, told them what was expected. As far as like bigger transitions, I mean, they're just gonna take time. Every kid's different. Some kids are gonna end up at school and it's gonna be like the best experience ever and they'll never look back. But for Letty, it took like 3 weeks for her to get used to it. So I think just staying positive and don't let them back out, because then you're just teaching them that, you know, if they cry long enough and they fuss long enough, then they won't have to go.
Aubrie and Letty are officially on their way to Montana, so I'm gonna end the video there. Hope you enjoyed this. Feel free to leave some tips and tricks down below. Let's share some parenting advice. I realize that some people may disagree with what we have to say, but I think the most important thing is consistency. Just be consistent in what you do as a parent. Subscribe if you haven't. Like this video. You're worth it.